Morning everybody, and welcome to another race report from Kev the Noise Davis. This weekend it was Dalby Kart Club, and it was aptly named the Corona Titles. We did it for a bit of fun, so it wasn't making light of the situation we were all in, but it was just to lighten the mood at the kart club, and it may well be the last kart race for a while in Queensland, so I was very fortunate to be there, and had almost 50 entries, so pretty good for obviously a really rural local club. And there was some brilliant racing. And first of all, I've got to say thanks first up to Holly Peters and to Gwenda Carroll. They pretty much fed and looked after and took the entries, did everything for almost 110 people, 100 people at the club on Saturday afternoon and evening racing. So really well done to them. It was fabulous. And they did obviously advise us on all the protocols. There was hand washes and sanitizers going on, and trying to do all transactions with cards and just keep it nice and safe for everybody. And everybody was keeping their distance. So really well done to the club. Did a brilliant job. And a second thank you goes to Marky Mickles and Terry Graham, because I was fortunate enough to have a blast in the DD2. That's Terry Graham's kart, and that was great fun. I've driven them before, obviously, and in Marky Mickles KZ, which again I have driven before, but great to have a crack in them around Dalby Kart Club. It was brilliant fun. So yeah, awesome stuff. Thanks guys, really loved it, and it was a blast. So well done to everybody, and I'm going to go through the race report. So first of all, I'm going to move on to the open performance, because they were the flyers, and great to see DD2s, KZs and open class karts on there, so brilliant fun. Brad Salmon, we got to see the new suit and the new gear that he's got for sponsorship. Looks really cool, but he had a bit of an off day, so he's struggling with rear end grip, I think. So he posted a 6 and a couple of 7s in that one, so didn't do too well, but was having fun. He said he was just there to set things up and get it all right. Trey Gundry, the newcomer, the happy little chappie, had a crack really, so it was really good fun in the 77. He was 5th and 3/6, so doing really well, and getting amongst it. It was his first time there, so really well done to Trey. But Gabby Clift, Gabby has only raced there twice, so we got some pretty good newcomers coming to the club, and Gab was absolutely on fire. She was racing hard with Dan Welk actually, so Gabby did really well to do what she did. She did finish 2 4ths and 2 5ths, and I think that could have been higher as well. But Dan was driving the wheels off his kart, and sometimes he was using just 2 wheels and not all 4. He was up on 2, so he was on the pace, and he got into the 29. So well done to Dan. He did really well. But those two swapping for 4th and 5th place, having a great battle all night long. It was really good. So could we do race into the evening at Dalby to use the cooler conditions in the night? But onto the podiums, and an absolutely fabulous afternoon and evening for your main man, Troy Kubacek. Finally gets this kart set up right, gets the luck, gets everything perfect, and gets himself on the podium. So well done to Troy. 3 thirds and a 2nd was the highlight in the race number 2. So well done to Troy. It was brilliant fun. But he couldn't catch Mr. Mark Mickles, and Mark was battling for the win. I think, but for a problem when he span out in front of me in heat number 2, it may have been 2 wins to Mark and 2 wins to Terry Graham. As it was, he had that DNF, so he won the first one. He was 2nd in heat 3 and the final to your main man, Terry Graham. Obviously, Marky came off on heat 2, but Terry Graham, the DD2, was on song. Absolutely magnificent. The muscle man himself. He's got the guns to show as well. He was 2nd in heat 1, and then he won everything from there on in. So he gets P1 on the podium. Well done to Tezza. So you did really well. And thanks to those top 2 for letting me even touch their karts. So brilliant stuff. Moving on to the 4-bangers. Probably my favourite class in the country. It is absolutely amazing. They're the only class that can drown out the noise, let me tell you, because they are super, super loud. And I say it every time, but they are just such good fun. And it was the Mika Rodriguez show. But let's start at the bottom. Ralph Dixon in the 72. A couple of spins, but he was going well and having some fun. He was actually battling with Katie Welk. And Katie, boy oh boy, I nearly went off my trocks. Just honestly, in heat number 1, she got P5. She was absolutely on the money, really driving hard. So Katie is getting some proper pace in that kart. The number 69 kart it was this weekend, so she was doing really well. So a 5th, a 6th, and a couple of 7ths for Katie. Really good stuff. And I think she actually let somebody else drive the Katie kart. I think at the end, I think it might have been one of the boys in the light class. I'll tell you in a minute. I forget his name. I think Tommy Gunn. Anyway, so moving on. James Crawley in the 82. A couple of issues for James, but again, he did well to get himself P6, a couple of 6, a 5th in the final, and P7. And then Luke Munoz finally has the kart absolutely on song, and he's getting quicker and quicker. So expect to see him get even better, because the front 3 are really, or four, are really hard to keep up with. They really are on song with these four-stroke karts. The four bangers, they've got them singing. They really have. So Luki Munoz did a cracker job to get himself into P5, and he was a couple of fourths and a couple of fifths, so it was really good. Expect him to see him battle that top crew next time. So yeah, really well done to Lukey. Robbie Carroll though, he would normally be pretty well right up there in the top three as well, fighting really hard. This weekend, unfortunately, a bit of a DNF in the final with I think it was a head gasket that might have gone, he thinks, so it blew a bit of oil out, so he had to stop. So that meant it as a DNF in the final, but Robbie, he did get a third and a couple of fourths, so well done to Robbie, he's going really well. But on to the podiums, the VP, your main man, Jamie Powell, a cracker result, and he looked good too. So also, he had an issue in heat number one, so to get a second in heat number two, absolute highlight for him, and then 2/3 in heat three in the final. Well done to Jamie, brilliant stuff. He really did deserve that, so well done to Jamie. But your main man, Craigie Taylor, gets home in P2 on the podium. He won the first one, but then it was a third and a couple of seconds after that to the flyer, the absolute flyer, the number 46, Mika Rodriguez. Nobody could catch him. Having got a second in heat one, he then won everything from there on in. He looked unstoppable. The kart was on rails. He was flying. I mean, Craig Taylor was double duties too, so I'll explain that afterwards. Craig Taylor not only was in the four bangers, he was in the Clubman Lights, so he would have been tired too, but yeah, well done to Mika, absolutely on rails and won it really well. So that was the four bangers, great fun they are too. Into the Clubman Heavies and the Clubman Lights then. Now, they put the lights with the heavies, there weren't as many lights, so they combined them, and they put the lights off at the back. So, Tommy Fuller, Tommy Gunn, as I said, he did have a go in Katie Welks' kart in the final in the other class, but in this one, Tommy was second, third, and third to obviously Julie Andrews, who was above him. Now Jules, she also doubles up as our first aider. She was on a bit of duty on the weekend too, so she was looking out for a few people, but no major injuries. It was all good. But Tommy couldn't stay with her in heat number 2, 3, and the final. So he was third, she was second, and guess who was third? Yes, your man, Craigie Taylor, and he was getting into the mix with the heavies. So that was your Clubman Lights. But moving on to the heavies, we call them the midgets, by the way. Moving on to the Clubman Heavies, our favourite pie eaters of the Dalby circuit. It was a cracker race, honestly. There was some showboating going on too. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Glenn Casey, P5 in heat 2, and I think he would have been there or thereabouts in the rest. But he had dramas. The kart stopped a couple of times. He had a bit of an off. So poor old Glenn, I think, didn't amass the points that he deserved to amass. So he comes home in P number 9. P8 for Tommy Dyke. Again, Tommy was battling with the higher guys. So Tommy had some dramas, but also was battling with the faster guys. He deserved to be up in the top 5 or 6 easily. So Tommy, the big fella, I think he could do better than that, and I reckon he will in the next one too. Wayne Gilby was right up there also. Wayno in the 105. He was actually pretty quick on the night, so a 6 3/7 probably didn't do him justice either, because I think he could have gone better, and he looked like he was going to go better in heat number 1. Unfortunately, the others got their pace up got their pace up and their sort of setups together and really started to charge. The first of those, El Presidente, Timmy Blesner, gets himself P6. And P6 was earned by a 7th, a couple of 6th and a 5th. So well done to Timmy. And then Davey Leake. Normally with Davey would be in the top 2 or 3. So tonight was an off night for him. He had struggled against the top guys. Didn't have the pace quite right. A couple of issues for him, but a 3rd in the first one. He did show his pace. And then a DNF or a 9th, I think it was in heat number 2, was the one that caught him out. And then a 5th and a 6th. So he was just behind that front pack and couldn't quite stay with the pace of the front pack. Of that front pack, 4th place, fast, Freddie Shepherd. He also had a drama. Didn't finish in the final. But he got a 4th, a 3rd, and then a 4th in heat 3. So that's why he was up there, and he deserved to be better. But yeah, with that DNF in the final, maybe not quite right. But get this, Scotty Hudson, we call him Showbag. I called him Lockie a couple of times. That's all right, because I was in fast mode. But Scotty Hudson, boy oh boy, 5th, 2nd, 8th and 4th. But for the DNF in heat number 3, I think he might have been challenging for the 2nd place podium too. And guess who got 2nd on the podium? It was the man from the city slicker, Rudy Farkas, one of our famous pie eaters and old buggers. He came out for another blast again, and Rodney, he won the first one, and I called it in the commentary. I thought he gave me the bird, but he actually gave me the hang 10. I'm pretty sure it was really quick stuff as he come through the Corona kink. And yeah, we were trying to work out what I'd actually seen, but it was a hang 10. Showboating with 3 laps to go, so well done. And he doesn't showboat. It's not only him that showboats. Mr. Prince Albert does the same. So with Rodney Rudy getting 4th in Heat 2 and then 2 seconds in Heat 3 in the final, it was left to your main man, Prince Albert, Mr. Josh Betts. He was 2nd in Heat number 1, and he won it from there on in. First, with plenty of showboating through CS Energy. Every time he went past me with about 3 laps to go, he really does know how to do it. So well done to Joshy. Gets the win. Brilliant stuff, and it was a great night for the midgets and the famous pie eaters. So moving on to the commas, the little people. There's a couple of newbies, and in the commas, Angus McLaren did really well and was getting faster and faster. So Angus had a cracker night, and I forget what time he got to, but we were looking for a super quick time, and he got really well. So I think each time he goes there, he will get quicker and quicker, and he was doing really well. Bella Rossiter, absolute standout. Bella it was I think in Heat number 2 where she came home 2nd. Heat number 1 was in 2nd, and then it was 3rd in Heat 3 in the final. So Heat 1 and Heat 2 are real standouts against 2 of the absolute local guns. So well done to Bella, the newcomer. I think Bella's going to get quicker and quicker. So Bella Rossiter, congratulations, great race day. It was brilliant to see. Benny Shepherd, boy oh boy, 4th in the first one, having pulled off and not finished it with a few dramas, a couple of spins, and then he won heat number 2 and was 2nd in Heat 3 in the final. And guess who got it? It was the little man, the champion, Daniel Betts. Won the first one, 3rd in the second one, but then won after that in Heat 3 in the final. Well done to Danny, brilliant stuff. So Danny was on the podium in P1, Benny Shepherd was in P2, and Bella Rossiter on the podium in P3. So well done to Bella. Moving on to the juniors, the Flyers. Now, in the juniors, you'd have to say it was the Lucas Blesner show, because Lucas is the king of showboating. I've got to tell you, in practice, in racing, he'll always give me the hang 10, and he's a bit of a show-off. And boy, oh boy, does he show it, because he's quick. First of all, though, Patterson Frame, 1 DNF in Heat 2, but a 7th, and then 2 5ths in Heat 3 in the final. So well done to Patterson, getting quicker. Tommy Williams, wrong place, wrong time, unfortunate, but he looked really, really fast. And why? Because he was finished in P2 in Heat number 1. From there on, a 5th, a DNF and an 8th. Bad luck for him. Honestly, if he comes back, I think he's going to be on the podium. I really do. He looked really fit, really quick, and in control of the kart. So well done to Tommy. He looked fast. Freddie Junior Shepherd, 6th, 7th, 6th and 6th. Because of others DNFs below him, he managed to get up into P6. So well done to Freddie. And Hayley Casey, well done to Hayley. A 4th in the first one, and then the 6th and 2 7ths. Deserved better, but kept on going, kept on the track, and kept on smooth driving. So well done to Hayley to get obviously P5. In P4 then, Lucas Welk also had a couple of dramas, a couple of spins, but kept it going. And it was for Lucas, it was a 3rd, a 4th in the final, and a 3rd in Heat 3. So well done to Lucas. Great stuff for him. And that meant P4 just missed out on the podium. And I was on countback because it was the same points as Lily Shepherd. So they both deserved to be on the podium really in P3. But it was given to Lily Shepherd. And Lily had a 5th, a 2nd, a 4th, and then a 3rd in the final. And Lily, brilliant stuff. Well done to Lily to get it on the podium in P3. Lockie Hudson, he was absolutely on rails, and he took advantage of a couple of issues where there was back markers, and he did really well to get into P2. So well done to Lockie, the flyer, and Lucas Blesner, the showboater, gets the win. Well done to Lucas. So moving on to the teenagers. And it was Blake Rossiter, the newcomer, who gets some in P7 with a 5th, 6th, 7th, and then a 5th in the final. So well done to Blake. Abby McDonald in the 27. Bit of dramas for Abby. I don't think she came out in the final. She was having some issues, but a 6th, a 5th, and a 4th. So well done to Abby. Did really well to get there. Stephanie Dyke also had a few issues, but gets P5, a 2nd in Heat 1. Well done to Steph. Really, really good driving in Heat 1. And then I think a DNF, and with a 5th and a 6th in Heat 3 in the final. So well done to Steph. And then it was Alex Casey, who did really well with a 7th, 3rd, 6th and 4th. Pretty good stuff from Alex. Just missed out on the podium. But the flyer, Brodie Putsey from New South Wales. Border's shut now. Can't come back. I'll have to wait till they open it. But Brodie Putsey, the number 8. Brilliant stuff for Brodie. Gets on the podium. Isaac Blesner gets in P2 with a 4th and then 3 seconds because the flyer, he won it hands down every single heat and the final. Hunter Smith, no stopping him. First, and first. Boy, oh boy, was he a flyer. That's a wrap. It's really a pleasure to be with you again. Dalby Kart Club, it may well be the last of the Queensland races for a while. Kart race for a while. It might be the last one. Unfortunately, the coronavirus is going to wipe us out for a little while, but we're back. We'll be back. So congratulations to everybody. Well done to the club, Timmy, Josh, and Jamie Powell, and Fast Freddy, and all the boys and girls. Did a brilliant job again on the weekend. We had a fabulous time. We always do. We made some noise. The noise out.